The rain had just begun to fall in thin, cold lines against the silent glass walls of the corporate parking structure when she saw him for the first time, not as a boss, not as a CEO, but as a stranger passing through shadows. Disguised in a simple coat, her hair tied back, no trace of luxury or authority visible, she moved quietly through the dimly lit underground floor, inspecting the company she had built from nothing. She had heard whispers, complaints of inefficiency, rumors of negligence. And tonight, she wanted truth, not reports polished by executives who feared her judgment. But what she found wasn't failure. It was something far more unexpected. Near the far corner, where the fluorescent lights flickered and darkness clung to the edges, a young security guard sat on the cold concrete floor. His uniform was slightly worn, his posture tired, but his eyes burned with focus. A small flashlight rested between his shoulder and cheek, angled carefully to illuminate the pages of a thick book spread open in front of him. He wrote notes slowly, deliberately, as if every word mattered. She paused, hidden behind a pillar, watching him longer than she intended. This wasn't carelessness. This wasn't laziness. This was hunger, quiet, relentless hunger for something more. Minutes passed before she stepped forward, her heels echoing softly. He didn't notice her at first, too absorbed in the world he was building word by word. "What are you studying?" she asked, her voice calm but firm enough to break his concentration. He startled slightly, quickly sitting upright, almost embarrassed. "Ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to neglect my duty. I was just studying," she finished for him, her eyes fixed on the open book. "Yes. I mean, only during quiet hours. I never leave my post." There was honesty in his voice, not fear. She stepped closer, glancing at the pages. Advanced business management. Financial strategy. Not casual reading. Not a hobby. This was ambition dressed. Confirmed everything. It was really her. But something was terribly wrong. Daniel noticed the slight tremble in her voice, the way she hugged herself for warmth, and without thinking twice, he took off his scarf and offered it to her. "You shouldn't be out here like this," he said gently. She hesitated, then accepted it, wrapping it around herself as if it was the only thing holding her together. What she said next completely changed everything Daniel thought he knew. "I lost everything tonight," she whispered. At first, Daniel didn't understand. How could someone like her lose everything in one night? But as she spoke, the truth unfolded in a way that left him stunned. Her company, built over years of sacrifice, had been taken from her through a betrayal she never saw coming. Trusted partners had turned against her, legal loopholes had been exploited, and within hours, she was no longer the CEO. The empire she had built was gone. Daniel listened in silence, the weight of her words sinking in. For the first time, he saw her not as a boss, but as a human being, broken, alone, and scared. It was a strange reversal of roles. The woman who once signed his paychecks was now sitting helpless at a bus stop, with nowhere to go. Daniel could have walked away. Most people probably would have. But he didn't. Because he knew what it felt like to lose everything in a single moment. Without overthinking, he said something that even surprised himself. "Come with me," he said. She looked at him, confused. "I don't have much, but it's warm. And no one should be alone on a night like this." There was a pause, long enough for doubt to creep in, but then she nodded. And just like that, the two worlds collided. When they reached Daniel's small apartment, Lily was waiting by the door, her tiny face lighting up the moment she saw her father. But then she noticed the woman behind him. "Who is she?" Lily asked innocently. Daniel smiled softly. "Someone who needs help," he replied. And without. It worked. When a scheduling conflict caused delays, he proposed a more efficient rotation. It reduced overtime costs. Small things. But small things reveal big minds. Then came the moment that would change everything. One evening, a senior executive dropped an important folder in the parking area without noticing. Ayan found it during his round. Instead of ignoring it or handing it off blindly, he reviewed just enough to understand its importance, a major investment proposal filled with errors. Not small mistakes, critical miscalculations that could cost the company millions. He had a choice, stay silent, or speak up. The next morning, he did something no one expected. He requested a meeting. Not with his supervisor, but with upper management. At first, they laughed. A security guard? Questioning financial documents. But something about his confidence made them curious enough to listen. And when he spoke, calm, precise, respectful, pointing out flaws with logic and clarity, the room fell silent. By the time he finished, no one was laughing. Because he was right. Completely right. That was the moment she stepped in, not as a stranger, but as herself. The room froze when she entered. The CEO. The real CEO. And when her eyes met Ayan's, recognition flashed across his face, shock, confusion, realization. You, he whispered under his breath. She gave a small nod. Yes. Me. Then she turned to the room. This, she said, gesturing toward him, is what initiative looks like. This is what this company was built on. No one spoke. No one dared to. She stepped closer to Ayan. You studied in the dark, did your job without complaint, and still found the courage to speak when it mattered, she said. That's rare. His voice was unsteady. I just didn't want the company to lose money. She smiled faintly. You didn't just save money. You proved something far more valuable. She paused, letting the moment settle. Effective immediately, you're no longer a security guard. His heart. Coldest moments of life.